Dave Rubin is a very out of touch, classical liberal, basically a guy who says whatever, the ideas of those who give him the most money. That's pretty much who Dave Rubin is. Now, he made an unbelievably stupid comment. And I've seen a trend of this coming from all these other, conservative pundits or what have you. I did one on Steven Crowder where he tried to say that Kamala Harris and all these other people are not radical leftists. Yes, I repeat, radical leftists. These people are so insane that they think that being corporate Democrats who aren't even in favor of Medicare for all are somehow radical leftists. That is unbelievable. It's fucking insane, right? So here's what Dave Rubin said on Twitter. He said, of course, there are still some rational people on the left, of course, Rubin. I'm friends with many, he names some people, Weinstein brothers. However, the political establishment, mainstream media, and academia have been taken over by far leftists who are anything but liberal. So he's claiming that the mainstream media and the corporate establishment of the left is radical and far left, which is one of the dumbest takes I've ever seen. And it really goes to show you how, unbelievably stupid Dave Rubin is. Because if you somehow believe that the establishment, Hillary Clinton and those types, your Kamala Harrises of the world, your Cory Bookers of the world, etc., if you think those people are far left, you're insane. You're unbelievably insane. Because in America, they're center left. But really around the world, they're center right if you think about it. Because again, I don't even think the Conservative Party in countries like Canada and the UK want to abolish Medicare or universal health, whatever universal healthcare system that they have. They don't want to do that. But in our country, the Democrats, there's a significant chunk of them, like Dianne Feinstein and Nancy Pelosi, who don't support a universal healthcare system. So how can they be far leftist? But also, I want to say, the guy who is smeared by you and other types is the, extremist far lefty Bernie Sanders. Despite the fact that he's just a run-of-the-mill social democrat, the establishment hated Bernie Sanders. They antagonized the shit out of him. They successfully boxed him out of the news, and they didn't talk about him at all. And anytime you would have the topic up after a debate or whatever, all these establishment douchebags would say, oh, he's a socialist, all this stuff. Seriously, you have to be joking. If you honestly think that the establishment who boxed the fuck out of Bernie, who's a social democrat, he's not a democratic socialist, he's not some sort of, communist of some sorts. And again, I also want to say that if you think that someone who's a social democrat is far left or radical left, whatever you want to say, he says far leftist. Where do you put communists? Where do you put actual democratic socialists? Where do you put actual socialists? Where do you put anarchists? Where do you put anarcho-syndicalists? Where do you put any of these people? I don't even think he knows what any of those terms mean, actually, to be fair. I don't think he knows anarcho-syndicalism or anything like that, but I can't believe it. I mean, I don't know how to take someone seriously after they say something like this, because not only is it just lacking any sort of sense or context whatsoever, it's really fucking embarrassing.